To determine who is the NBA's purest scorer, a poll of 30 different NBA coaches, former players, and execs was done by The Athletic. Kevin Durant ran away with the top spot, receiving 20 of the 30 first-place votes. LeBron came in 10th overall, but didn't receive a single vote, better than 4th, and only had 2 top 5 votes overall. So, Shannon, what does this tell you?
Well, it tells me that people don't look at LeBron as a scorer, even though his scoring averages, he and Kevin Durant are right there. Kevin Durant is 27.1, LeBron is 27.0. LeBron has the 5th highest scoring average in NBA history. But because his game is so well-rounded, he does so many other things other than score, people don't look at him as just a scorer. Skip, if you look at 25 and 7 seasons, LeBron has 12 of those. The next closest is Oscar Robertson with 9. Jordan has...
You're talking about
points.
25
points. 25 points, 7 assists or more.
So, okay, got it. All right.
LeBron has 12 of those. Oscar has 9.
Yep.
Jordan has 1. Kevin Durant doesn't have any.
Yep.
So it just goes to show you. Plus, he's also a career 27 and 7 guy, 7 rebounds, 7 assists. There have been very few guys that have been asked to do what LeBron is asked to do. Sure, normally scorers, Skip, that's what they do. They score the basketball. They put the ball in the hole at a very, very high clip. But LeBron, not only can he score the ball, but because that's not all he does, it goes unnoticed at how efficiently he does that. So the 7 assists, the 7 rebounds. So for me, Skip, it just, look, I don't want people to think that Kevin Durant is not electric. But if you tell me a scorer, I'll take James Harden. It's just pure scoring, just scoring the basketball. I'll take James Harden over anybody that's currently playing. Because that step back 3, the floater, getting to the lane, and then what does he do, Skip? Get his butt, park his butt on the free throw line. Whoop, whoop, whoop. So as far as pure scorer, I would take James Harden over anybody currently. That's not a knock on Kevin Durant because he is a great scorer. But I think the reason why LeBron didn't get the number of people don't view him as a scorer is because he does so many other things other than just score. LeBron is not going to have a 40-point game with 2 assists and 2 rebounds. LeBron games are normally what, Skip? 48 and 8, 40-point triple-double. So it just goes unnoticed. But they don't tell me that. We know what GOAT is. He's still the GOAT. He's
Still the GOAT.
Yep.
Okay. He can't shoot, but he's the GOAT.
Stop saying that. How the hell you get average 27 points a game when you can't shoot?
I'm about to explain. So Kevin Durant is the best pure scorer in the game because he can get you 30 on 12 shots. He's the most efficient.
What's efficient? I'm just going James Harden's best, just pure score.
Okay, but James is not as efficient as that because he can't do what KD does.
No, he don't shoot the ball.
You don't even know KD's out there sometimes, and you look up and say, he's already got 24 points. Where did those come from? Because he can shoot those mid-range J's. He can shoot threes. He's a 50, 40, 90 guy, 50% of the field, 40 from 3 and 90 from the free throw line. And he'll just go routinely to the free throw line, and suddenly you look up and he's 10 for 10 from the free throw line. They add up. If LeBron James, I said this from day one, if he could have improved his free throw shooting up toward 90%, he'd already be knocking on Kareem's all-time door.
If he'd just been 80, he'd be at 37,000, over 37,000 points right now.
That's what I'm saying. But if you get up toward 90, like Jordan was 85 and Kobe is 85, you could.
Right.
And KD is always pushing 90. Well, if you could do that, it'd be over already.
Yeah.
So to me, it's a minor miracle that LeBron James can do everything that he does and still score, but he scores in very different ways than Kevin Durant scores.
Right.
What do I always call him? Greatest driver of the basketball ever. To this day, you cannot keep LeBron James from the rim because he's 6'9". What do we give him now? 260-ish, somewhere in that range?
He trimmed down. He went pescatarian.
Did he? And
no,
he
I
did
just
not.
made that up.
Okay? And he weighs what?
250, 255.
255, 260. Let's call him 260. 6'9", 260, and he's still explosively quick at that size.
Yeah.
So much that anytime he wants to, he will get to the rim. It's the equivalent of playing bully ball because usually he can just bully whoever. There's nobody who can guard him on most teams who can match up physically, just with the physicality of him. And I'm not saying he is a bully by nature. He just is, like, I spell his name sometimes. It's not LeBron, B-R-O-N. It's B-R-A-W-N, as in Braun, because he is football player built. He is weight room built. So he can get to the rim and score so easily, quickly, just by dunking or laying it off the glass.
He got Magic Johnson's handle with Karl Malone's body.
He does. He has Karl Malone's body for sure.
Yeah.
And they're both about the same.
Yeah.
About the same size.
250. Yeah.
I would agree with that. And yet he's going to get to the free throw line, and he's just he's a below average 3-point shooter, but he's what, career 34%, and he's taken higher volume. Now he's down to 35%. But the combination of all the above make him a high volume scorer.
Right.
Where he's going to continue to average what Kevin Durant averages, because Kevin can't get to the rim like this.
Right.
Because he's not physical enough.
Right.
He's still bean Polish, you know, like he's still skinny Kevin, right?
But Skip, remember a couple of years ago, LeBron was 27, 8, and 8, and he put 2 of those seasons together, and only Russ, Harden, and Jordan had ever done it, but nobody had done it after the age of 30. He did it twice.
Yep.
He's getting 25, 7, and 7, and nobody's ever done that after the age of 30. That's what he's doing. But because he's doing so many other things well, you just don't look at him. Nobody's ever looked at it as like, Bron just scoring. Because he's rebounding the ball, Skip. He might get you 13 to 14 assists. He might get you 12, 13 rebounds. That's not what we see from KD. That's not what we see from the other scorers. And what makes James Harden so unique, James Harden gets you 60 points in the triple-double. He'll get you 50 points in the triple-double. Now, when Russ was going through his streak of all those triple-double, Skip, he could get you 40, 50 in a triple-double. But as far as LeBron, I just don't think people view him. People don't realize LeBron James is a 27-point-a-night scorer, Skip, for a career.
Okay, but in this list, he comes in 10th among pure scorers. This is the guy who's starting to get into the ballpark of the greatest scoring in the history of basketball.
It's like Tom Brady. When it comes to best pure throwers of the football, he's never in the top 5. It's who you go with, Aaron Rodgers. You talk about Dan Marino. You talk about Patrick Mahomes. But
you're talking about spectacular throwing. I think pure throwing, Brady's right there with anybody.
No.
Catchable throwing.
No.
Yes.
But Skip, you keep on telling me that what he can't do. All I know is that he just keep getting these 20. He just keep getting 27 a night.
Can I say nicely that he's a below average shooter? Is that fair?
Yeah, Skip. Skip, you want the man to have everything?
Well, again, what do I call LBJ? LB no J? Because most of the time it's no J.
So
yet he scored all these points.
You want the People magazine sexiest man alive to also be the richest man alive. That's never going to happen, Skip. I'm sorry. That's not going to happen.
Well, the basketball gods were good in one big capacity, and that is he is the most durable superstar athlete in the history of sports.
Can you say 40, 10, and 10? 40,000 points, 10,000 rebounds, 10,000 assists. Book it.
10,000 games.
You can't deny the tournament at this point.
Ain't no 10,000 games.
Still need to talk about this, guys.
played
What's
10,000.
the All-Star Weekend's biggest surprise? The Skills Challenge. We'll dive in.